We're here. It's 2025, depending on whose calendar you follow. Here in the Northern Hemisphere in the United States, we're calling it a new year. It's been a little while since I've put a video on this channel. It would probably help me for those of you guys that are watching these. Leave in the comments what you would like to see more of. I have really no idea, what's going to be helpful and what's not. I've just been watching some of these videos and who's watching what, and basically the ones like I am empty and there is no hope are the ones that people are watching the most of. So let me know what you'd like to see more of so I can start tailoring these videos to some of your requests. I'm obviously not going to be able to get to everybody's, but it'll help me understand how I could be more helpful. So what we're going to talk about today, because it is New Year, hopefully you're not wishing for a new you, because who you are, the way that you already are, is perfectly fine. But if there are some things you're looking to work on so that you can have a little more peace in the present or ease in your life, I'd be happy to support that. But as it relates to changing who you are, no way, because there's nothing wrong with you. Whenever we know the whole story about why we're doing what we're doing, usually the behavior that we're doing in present day makes perfect sense. And so what actually tested for me that I should treat today in our video, or that we should talk about, is from the addictions core beliefs. And so this one is, I need blank to reward myself. And I talk to my clients all the time about the thrilling idea that there would be one answer, and so to our problems, and then if we found it, we could finally have, I don't know, relief, the peace that passes understanding, but for good and for always, and we wouldn't have to keep being a human and experiencing our human lives. And so an example of this for me, it wouldn't surprise you to know that because I'm in this field, I've got buddies who are also in this field, and work colleagues for a good long time. And I called a friend of mine who works in eating disorders and trauma, whereas I maybe work more in like attachment trauma and addictions. And I was like, hey, can you take a look at something for me? And it was that I had been fantasizing about if I got cool sculpting on my belly, all my self-esteem problems would be solved. Like, this old fantasy of like, if I do this thing, then like I'll get relief, but for good. And she was like, why don't you tell me a little bit about what's going on in your life right now? Because whatever the escape fantasy is, it's because there's something right now that you don't want to deal with. So I walk her through it. I had just moved into a new house. I had a dog. And my floors when I moved in, because it was a new house, were beautiful. And then, a couple months later, me and my puppy living in this house, the floors, I was having a really hard time, maintaining, keeping my house clean. And it turned out that like this daily practice of self-care, which was, sweeping, mopping, maybe not daily, but like a more kind of regular habitual thing that didn't have a big reward, was what I was avoiding when I was fantasizing about like I would finally have relief and a break and rest and everything I need if I shell out X amount of dollars and get my stomach situation sorted, which is very humbling. So what I'm trying to get at, also the reason I'm sharing this example, is because it's so human to want there to be an easy answer that once we achieve, we will solve a problem. And it's really unpleasant to go, oh, I just have to eat oatmeal every day. Gross. Not have to, but like I'm taking care of myself by doing this kind of boring daily practice, sweeping my floors, washing my dishes, wiping down the counters, versus if I get this partner, if I do this, if I can control my alcohol use to get everything I want and none of the things I don't want. And so it's humbling, but it's also human. And so if there's one thing I've tried to learn from my experience as being a human being as well as being a mental health practitioner, it's that we've all got it. We've all got the same affliction, which is being a human. So you're going to fill in the blank with whatever you need to put here. This is not going to be a replacement for any type of addictions or mental health treatment, obviously, but helping release some of these core beliefs. is something I want to do to be able to be of service to more people besides just who I see in my office in a week. So the phrase is, I need something to reward myself. So for you, that might be alcohol, shopping. Whenever I'm fantasizing about like a new article of clothing and like shopping and reading the reviews and I want to buy it online because I don't want to actually have to like go put in work. It's like that fantasy. Like there's an aspect of online shopping that kicks into our like, this thing when it arrives is going to solve my problem. And for other people, it's not online shopping. It might be like going out to a store. So I need something to reward myself. Get yourself take a deep breath and let your first thought be your best thought. How strong or true does that one feel to you on a scale of 0 to 10? 10 is it feels like a fact. 0 is not true at all. For me, the number that's popping up is 7. I need something to reward myself. And for me, where I'm feeling that today is like low belly, pelvis, which interestingly in energy psychology lore is the not just about sexual creativity, the pelvic or the sacral chakra, but also thinking about artistic creativity. That sitting down and doing watercolors would probably bring me a more stable amount of pleasure, get me into a flow state, than shopping and like finding the one dress. And what I'll have on at the end of that is a mediocre watercolor. I'm not very good, but it's in real life, and it's something that I have access to instead of that fantasy, which is like, once I get this, I will get relief. So my hand's going to be at my low belly, at my pelvis, where my hip bones would meet in the center. You can put your hand wherever you're feeling the location of that sensation. Starting at the crown of your head, your phrase is, I need something to reward myself. I need something to reward myself. Now to your forehead. I need something to reward myself. To your chin. I need something to reward myself. Your throat. I need something to reward myself. Your center chest. I need something to reward myself. Left heart. I need something to reward myself. Right heart. I need something to reward myself. Solar plexus. I need something to reward myself. To your belly button. I need something to reward myself. Pelvis, where the hip bones meet in the center. I need something to reward myself. Left hip crease. I need something to reward myself. Right hip crease. I need something to reward myself. And to your root, where base of your tailbone. I need something to reward myself. Okay, release your hands. Take a big deep breath. Some of the things, insights that came up for me as I was doing this round at my solar plexus, I kind of got the message like being present to my own life is its own reward. And then at the belly button and the pelvis, I kind of got that insight that there's nothing wrong with rewarding yourself. There's nothing wrong with buying yourself a sweater or taking yourself out for ice cream or whatever it is. But it's when we get the combination of craving and fantasy, which is, if I do this thing, I'm going to get something out of it that I couldn't internally create. So when we say I need something to reward myself, the reason that this is a faulty belief is because need, right? Like I need it. I need air. I need water. I need food. I need a safe place to stay. But do I need that new article of clothing that I'm fantasizing about? No. So another way to think about this core belief might be there's something outside of me that's going to solve the pain inside of me. And that's just never true. Oh, I have reactions. I haven't turned them off on my Mac, so I'm always mortified when I talk with my hands and there's something that pops up like that. Um, so the alternate belief, or what we would install on the other side of this, the phrase is opposite. Is I can reward myself without fill in blank with healthy alternative behavior name. That's a little clunky. Um, but I think maybe what we can do together today is I have everything I need inside me related to the answer to that craving. Whatever I'm craving, whatever I feel like I don't have, go one layer underneath the new article of clothing or the alcohol or um, I don't know, being on Grinder, looking to hook up with somebody. One layer below it is how do I want to feel if I get this thing that I'm craving? I want to feel beautiful. I want to feel attractive. I want to feel lovable. I want to feel calm. I want to feel peaceful. I want to feel rested. I want to get a break from my anxiety, all that stuff. So underneath, one layer underneath whatever it is that we're craving or fantasizing about, and the question you can ask yourself is, how do I want to feel? What is my fantasy telling me that this thing is going to make me feel like? And then what are some more pro-social or healthy ways that I could go about meeting this need? And asking yourself that question is getting you back into the place where your basic wisdom can answer, what do I need and how can I meet it? Because if I need to feel beautiful, what do I consider to be beautiful? Is it like the externals, or is it having a certain state of mind or being a grateful person? Maybe I make a gratitude list instead. Or if I need to feel lovable, maybe I pick up the phone and call someone who likes me. Who I haven't heard from, or who hasn't heard from me for a while, like calling one of your aunts and thanking them for the Christmas card. If I need to feel loved or I want to feel peace and belonging, go find an animal to pet if you are an animal person. If you're not, don't do that. But the idea is that there are pro-social and functional ways to get that need met without having to engage in this old pattern. And that's changing your brain, because that is explaining to your brain that there isn't a one-way ticket, the only path to getting the relief you want through whatever is the substance or the behavior. So I'm going to put my hand at that center pelvis. Again, if you need to do more than one round of these, you just rewind the video, start back over at another round of treating the core belief until it feels like it's a zero, or it feels like it's come down or been released, and then you're ready to install something that is more functional in its place. To clear, we clear the space and then we fill it up with something that's more functional. So for me, my hand is going to go at my center pelvis, starting at the root. I have everything I need inside of me. Now to the pelvis. I have everything I need inside me. To the belly button. I have everything I need inside of me. Solar plexus. I have everything I need inside me. Center chest. I have everything I need inside me. Left heart. I have everything I need inside of me. Right heart. I have everything I need inside of me. To your throat. Say it like you mean it. I have everything I need inside of me. Your chin. I have everything I need inside of me. Forehead. I have everything I need inside of me. And to your crown. I have everything I need inside of me. Take a big deep breath, like you're filling a bathtub up with water, because we just drained it with the kind of junky water of a dysfunctional core belief. If you're watching this, thanks. I'm glad you're here. It would help me enormously if you left in the comments some things that you'd be interested in hearing me talk about or work on or approach. And if not, I'm just going to keep shooting in the dark and alone talking to my computer. Happy New Year. Just a reminder for you, Carl Rogers, who's one of the fathers of counseling and psychotherapy, is famously quoted as saying, as soon as I accept myself as myself, then I can change. So it's not as soon as I change, I can love myself. It's I'll love myself to bits, and then it will become easier to start doing things that are healthier for me. Um, so we're switching around the order. I give myself compassion first, and then change becomes more available instead of I'll earn my own love once I'm good enough or once I'm perfect. Peace to you in 2025, and I'll be back soon.